Yo guys, welcome back to the DV Text podcast, and guys, I'm sure you guys have now seen the result. PSG beat Arsenal 1-0 at the Emirates, and guys, to be honest, this was just a poor performance, It was not good enough from A to Z. This doesn't feel like the same team that beat Real Madrid home and away. There was no real sign of, confidence, a bit of arrogance in their own ability. And to be honest, I didn't feel like Arsenal really, believed in their abilities. This performance was just poor, it was disappointing, and it was nowhere near the level of a team, trying to win the big trophies. To be honest, guys, from A to Z, I feel like all of the players, it just wasn't good enough, and tactically, we got it wrong. Mentally, we were wrong. First of all, let's speak about tactically. I feel like Arsenal allowed PSG to dominate the game, They made it a bit too easy for them at times, and I feel like Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, they had too much time in that midfield. Why is it that when Rice, Moreno, Odegaard would get the ball, they would barely have any time to breathe? And I feel like that was just the difference in the game. PSG were more hungry, they were more determined, and obviously they had that quality in the goal from Dembele. Arsenal really like the quality in the Saka areas, We have Martinelli, Trossard and Saka. To be honest, Saka is the only one that can consistently provide goals and assists, and I feel like at times Trossard and Martinelli really showed the vulnerability that they have in providing quality, which was so disappointing. And also mentally, I feel like Arsenal were just not ready for this game today, to be honest. Like, it really felt like we were intimidated by PSG, and it's so disappointing and almost annoying and weird, whatever you want to call it, was the fact that we just knocked out Real Madrid. And if we can beat the 15-time winners of this competition, home and away, without a problem, why can't we just carry the same mentality and arrogance and attitude into this game today? We just allowed PSG to come to the Emirates Stadium and dominate this performance. This result was deserved by PSG. 1-0 would even make, if you see the scoreline and see 1-0, you would think the game was close, but to be honest, PSG dominated this whole game, and they came to the Emirates Stadium, and at times it was quite embarrassing because PSG just dominated. What's annoying me the most is the fact that we just knocked out Real Madrid. What's the point of knocking out champions like Real Madrid to come with this mediocre performance against PSG? To be honest, I feel like if Real Madrid were against PSG, they would have put up much more of a fight, and this was just so disappointing. I feel tactically we got it wrong, mentally we got it wrong. The players really showed, a lack of belief, a lack of hunger, a lack of determination to even try and fight, because this is a Champions League semi-final and Arsenal didn't show any urgency, and I feel like there wasn't a player, that took it by the scruff of the neck and it was like, hold on, if things aren't going the way we want, why can't I take the ball and take the risk? I can't really count how many shots Arsenal actually had from the edge of the box to test Donnarumma, It was so disappointing. It was too poor from all of the players. But to be honest, I'm willing to exempt Miles Lewis-Skelly and David Raya, because Miles Lewis-Skelly, he did defensive duty so well, like he always does. He was so confident on the ball. I feel like he was our most creative element, to be honest, guys, because he was creating the most chances with his amazing passes, and he was just doing his thing. And I feel like David Raya, he was amazing again. To be honest, there's not much he could have done with the goal. He made an important save from Desiree Doué, and again, he didn't do much wrong, and I feel like he made a real good save from Desiree Doué. And going over the whole Arsenal team, I feel like it was just not good enough, guys. It was so poor. We didn't move the ball quick enough. There was no desire. We didn't have that quality in the final third, There was always something we did wrong. There was always something, that could be improved. And why is that? Why do we have that much of a lack of quality in this team? It's so disappointing for a team like when we have a team that's trying to fight for the Champions League, for the Premier League. If you take a glance at Arsenal's bench, all you can see is Wanyeri and Raheem Sterling. Those are the only attacking-minded players on the bench, and the rest you would see academy players, maybe Timber, or maybe you would see Ben White, Tierney, and it's just not good enough. Arsenal's squad on the whole is so disappointed that if our first 11 isn't delivering, there's not much we can bring off the bench, and we saw that today. Our first 11, like Odegaard, when he came off in the 89th minute, he wasn't playing to his best, and we brought on Ifo Manieri too late. To be honest, that's a bit of a tactical error from Mikel Arteta, because I feel like Ifo Manieri has the ability to change this game with his ability. He's quick, he's creative, he likes to take shots out of the box, and I feel like he should have came on earlier, to make an impact in this game. And I feel like Arteta left it too late. By the time he came on, he couldn't, make much of a difference. And again, tactically, he got it wrong. Mentally, the players didn't feel up for this game today, the way we pressed. And I feel like another thing that's so disappointing was the fact that whenever Arsenal had the ball in possession, if that's being David Raya trying to play out from the back, or Saliba, you'll see how Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Desiree Doué will be pressing Arsenal, even the midfielders. To be honest, Odegaard barely had a kick off the football today, and that's because Vitinha, João Neves, they were on his touch straight away. He couldn't affect the game, but when Vitinha and João Neves get the ball, they have all of the time in the world, and that's the thing. That's the difference between the two teams in this game today, and it was just disappointing. I feel like disappointing, guys, is the key word going over this game today, because it just was. But hopefully, I think Arsenal should be grateful that it was only 1-0, because PSG had so many chances, you know, to make it 2, 3 or 4, with the chance from Desiree Doué, with the chance from Kvaratskhelia, you know, Bradley Barcola, he just skewed it wide, and Gonzalo Ramos, he hit the crossbar with the toe poke. And I feel like on another day, PSG really could have made Arsenal pay, but obviously we have to be grateful that it's only 1-0. And I feel like when we go to the Parc de France, Arsenal, we really need to throw everything at it. We need to attack, and who knows, anything can happen in football. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Please make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe. It's DD Tax out.